up, what up? Welcome to fourth grade math, boys and girls. I'm the math teacher Goat, and today we're going to talk about multiplication, numbers 0 through 12 specifically. We're not going to do crazy numbers, not yet. We just need to make sure that our basics are met. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you like my videos, tell all your friends about me, and we'll just get started. Now, in a previous video, I put out an hour of just this guy right here. Where is it? There it is. Just that guy right there. That is the multiplication table from 0 to 12. So you could use that multiplication table to help you do some of these problems as we begin. Now, soon we're going to get rid of the multiplication table. So if you don't feel really confident about this, make sure you go back and make sure you watch that video called, I think it's called Memorize This Multiplication Table. And it's literally an hour long. You just listen to some music, you memorize it, you feel good about the numbers. That's what you need to do if you're not 100% sure about this. But we're still going to use it. We're still going to use it. Now, what it means to do 1 times 5, right? What we do here, if we're going to use a multiplication table, we choose one of the ones. So I'll choose 1 right here and one of the 5s, and then we kind of line things up and match things up. So you line that 1 up with the 5, and that gets you 5. So 1 times 5 is 5. Okay? If I wanted to do 3 times 7, I'll pick a 3 on one of them, I'll pick a 7 on the other one, and I will line things up just like that, and I get 21. So anyway, 3 times 7 is 21. If I wanted to do 12 times 4, let's choose a different color. Pick 12 on one of them, pick 4 on the other one, line things up. Line things up. Let's go a little bit further on this one, and we get 48. Okay, so that's how you use the multiplication table to do basic multiplication facts. Again, it's best that you start memorizing these numbers. Start getting these in your head, and if you haven't done that yet, go back and watch that video that I told you, or just hit the freeze button and just, look at this. I mean, if I go to the next slide, which is here, now would be a good time to freeze it. And anyway, I want you to freeze it, and maybe if you have scrap paper or a pencil, that might be helpful too. But today is more mental math. You really don't need scrap paper and a pencil. Usually I ask you guys to get that ahead of time, but I didn't because I think today is just more mental math than anything. But start looking at this table. Start memorizing it. At the very least, make sure that the numbers that you have in your head while you do these are the numbers that I show you when we go over them. So I want you to try this on your own. Pause the screen, either write down your answers or have them in your head, and then when you unpause them, check your answers with me to make sure you got them right. So pause now. And welcome back. So 6 times 5, oh boy, 6 times 5. Got a little choked up there. I get so excited about math. So pick 6 on one of them, great. Pick 5 on the other one, great. Line those up, line those up. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, 11 times 10. Pick 11 on one of them. 7, not 10, oh boy. Pick 11 on one of them, pick 7 on the other one. Go over, line things up, line things up, line things up, line things up. You get 77. 77. All right, last but not least for this problem, you get 9 times 12. So here's 9 on one of them. Here's 12 on the other one. Go all the way to the end. And 9 times 12, my gosh, is 108. So there you have it. There you have it. Fun stuff. Fun stuff indeed. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to find the missing number. Okay, so we have to kind of be like, all right, work backwards a little bit. And we'll use our chart again if we have to. But you're thinking 2 times what is going to get you 14? So 2 times, I don't know. But what I do know is I'm going to get 14. So 2 times what is going to point to that 14? Well, in this case, 2 times 7 is going to point to that 14. So 2 times 7 equals 14. See, not so bad. Now let's try it again. What times 7 is 63? So pick 7 on one of them, right? And then 7 times which one of these is going to be 63? So let's go to 63. There you are. Let's circle you. And that happens to match up with 9. So 9 times 7 is 63. What times 11 is 121? Well, let's pick 11 on one of them. Let's go over to 121. There you are. That lines up with 11 again. So 11 times 11 is 121. Not so bad. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. 121. You try it. Pause the screen. If you do have scrap paper and pencil laying by, maybe pull that over and write down your numbers or memorize them in your head. We're going to do the same exact thing. I want you to pause it and then come back when you're ready. Welcome back. You try it. Find the missing number. All right. What times 8 is 72? So pick an 8. Which one of these is going to line up with 72? So let's go to 72. There you are. So that happens to be 9. So 9 times 8 is 72. All right, let's do it again. 5 times what is 60? So here's 5. Pick 5 on one of them. You're going to go all the way over until you hit 60, right at the very end there. And that happens to match up with 12. So 12 times 5 is 60. What times 4 is 24? I don't want to use green on green. Pick 4. Go all the way over to 24. There you is. 6 times 4 is 24. So 6 times 4 is 24. See? Fun. Now, keep in mind, we're assuming that you feel pretty good about multiplication stuff. If you're still not 100% sure about multiplication stuff, like as far as this chart right here, you need to go back and really start looking at this and memorizing this, because from here on out, the chart's gone. No more table. Okay, so now we're just going to do some math problems and make sure we feel confident about it. Okay, so 6 times 12 is something maybe you have memorized already. If you don't, go back and memorize it. 6 times 12 is 72. Okay. What times 9 is 27? So you're thinking, all right, well, is it 1 times 9? No, that's 9. Is it 2 times 9? No, that's 18. Is it 3 times 9? 3 times 9 is 27. Now, also multiplication problems can look like this, right? I haven't showed you that yet, but it's the same exact thing. 2 times 7, you know what that is 14. 7 times 0 is 0. Okay, so knowing that we should feel really good about the multiplication table, I want you to try it on your own and see if you can come up with answers on your own. So go ahead, pause the screen, try it, write down your answers, come back. Welcome back. 11 times 7 is 77. I think we actually did that before in this lesson. Maybe we did. I don't know. Things will repeat. What times 4 is 28? So maybe you think, all right, well, it's kind of not a small number because like 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So why don't we try, I don't know, 6 times 4? Let me think. 6 times 4 is 24. No. 7 times 4 is 28. So you kind of go through that little game in your head and you ask yourself, what times 4 is 28? And you try stuff out in your head until you get to the right answer. Okay? 1 times 8 is 8. No big deal. 10 times 9, 90. No big deal. Okay? So, very many times we'll, I said very many times, how appropriate because we're doing multiplication. Very often, okay, you're going to have word problems that involve you having to multiply things. And so we need to make sure we know what words means multiply. I mean, of course, the word multiply means multiply, so we know that. But if I give you a word problem and I see words like times, that means you're going to multiply. 6 times as many as 7 is going to be 6 times 7. Okay? So 6 times as many as 7 is 6 times 7, and 6 times 7 is 42. When you see the word twice, that always means 2 times. So twice of 12 is 2 times 12. And 2 times 12 is 24. So again, twice is a special type of multiplication because twice always means 2 times. Okay? 5 groups of 3. When you see words like groups of, that means you're taking 5 groups of 3. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, or 5 times 3. So 5 groups of 3 is 5 times 3, and 5 times 3 is 15. There's other words too that we might run into, and if we do run into that today, we'll get to them, but these are the most common ones, okay? Times, groups of. Sometimes you see the words per, like, $5 per ticket or something like that. And we'll talk about that if we run into that, but we're not quite there yet. And by the way, when I said per, I'm not talking about cats. Although I do love cats. And you should too. So let's look at some of these word problems. Let's use the word problems and come up with a times or a multiplication problem. Sarah counted different colored leaves on a tree. She counted 8 red leaves. She also counted 3 times as many yellow leaves as red leaves. So she counted 8 red leaves, and 3 times that is yellow leaves. How many yellow leaves did Sarah count? 3 times 8 is 24. So we will write out words 24 yellow leaves. Okay? So you look for that key word, right? You look for that key word, and this key word is times. So she counted 3 times as many. So 3 times as the red ones means 3 times the 8 red ones, and that's how many yellow ones she gets. Okay? Now, sometimes the problem is not as pretty as you want it to be. Mrs. Chavez sells clay pots at arts and crafts festivals. She charges $20 for her large clay pots. That is 4 times as much money as she charges for her small clay pots. So this is going to be confusing. You have to be careful. Okay, she charges $20. What we know is this is 4 times as many, 4 times as much as she charges for the small clay pots. And we want to find the small clay pots. So what we're going to do is we're not going to do 4 times 20, because large clay pots are going to be more expensive. So this is going backwards. She charges 4 times the small clay pots to get 20. So 4 times small is going to give us our big, large clay pots. So let me see. 4 times what is 20? 4 times 3? No. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. So how much is a small clay pot? $5 again, I got cats on the mind, for a small clay pot. All right. It's tricky when it's backwards. And so when it seems backwards, it usually is. Because if you think about it, I think most people would want to say 4 times 20, because that's what it looks like. But 20 are the large clay pots. So why would the smaller ones be $80? Why would they be more expensive? That doesn't quite make sense. So we have to read the word problem and make sure it does make sense. And in this case, we're going backwards. Okay, so it's opposite of what we're used to. All right, so you try it. Okay, is this going forwards and multiplying our 2 numbers, or is this going backwards and having a space? You pause the screen, read the problem, and then come back and check your work. All right, Tony makes a fruit smoothie for breakfast every day. This morning, he put 5 strawberries in the smoothie. He also put twice as many mango chunks in the smoothie as strawberries. How many mango chunks did Tony put in the smoothie? So he has 5 strawberries, and he's going to put twice as many to get mango chunks. So this is just 5 times 2. This is going forward. So if there's going to be twice as many, you're going to have more mango chunks. So 5 times 2 is 10, and we're going to have 10 mango chunks. We all love a good mango chunk. Sounds delicious. But I think that should do it for today. Yeah. So that's multiplication, focusing on some of these smaller numbers. Now, the next couple videos that we do are going to be focusing on bigger numbers, so just make sure you feel comfortable with these smaller numbers. Make sure you have the multiplication table memorized, at least memorize up through the tens. Okay, that's where it's most important, because the next couple problems or the next couple videos are going to be multiplication, but we're going to be focusing on larger numbers. So you need to make sure you have the small numbers down. So if you don't have that multiplication table all set in your brain, get it set in your brain. Watch my video that's an hour long and just sit there and study and sit there and study, and then quiz yourself, or have a friend or a parent quiz you. Have someone quiz you and be like, what's 3 times 5? And you should be able to go 15 like that. Okay, stuff like that. Okay, so thank you for watching this one. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure you continue watching my videos. And don't forget, I love you. Bye.